It doesn't matter. Mine's just a backup
Are you good? We're going. Okay. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to the OtakuCast Postshow.
It's the show after the show.
Yeah, and here we are starting up season 3, and we're so fucking glad you're here. Yeah, I could swear now. Thanks for being patrons. Thanks for being here.
You just like that part. You just like, I can swear.
Yes, I'm a potty mouth by nature, so it's hard for me. Like, if you see me pause during the actual cast, it's because I'm trying to replace a swear word with a more family-friendly word.
I am a good boy, and I make sure I swore as little as possible. Except you argue badass is a swear, and I argue that if you can say it on a kid's show, it's not a swear.
I have never heard the word badass on a kid's show.
I have.
Well, that doesn't sound like a very kid-friendly show.
It was a Nick show.
Ass is a
That's
bad.
the most.
Unless it's
not
being
anymore.
referred to the animal of labor.
You can say crap in kids' shows now. Did you know that? You can say crap.
Well, yeah, that was since Ice Age or some shit.
Yeah, it's not so ass isn't worse than crap.
Anyway,
like kids love jackass.
Term for the hind end. Anyway, we're talking about Lupin the Third. Castle of Cagliostro. And look, it's a movie made in 1979. It's 42 years.
It is very much a movie made in 1979 too. A lot of smoking and ninjas.
Yep. The ninjas were my favorite part.
Freaking that is why I'm wearing my Power Rangers shirt.
They were all like little lizard people.
Yeah, just like this, and with the little gauntlets.
Yeah.
The little spiky gauntlets. I loved it.
And
they were great.
Their animation was just like if you took and dragged them across the screen, that was
I loved the fact that they had no reason to be hunched over, because some of them you see out of costume, they're not hunched over. Just once they get in that costume, though.
Maybe the costume has a hunch in it.
It is metallic.
Who knows? I don't know. I named them something funny in my notes, but I guess we'll get to that when we get to that. But anyway, in the Japanese title of the movie is Rampan Sensei Kiro Shotoro no Shiro, written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and it was Miyazaki's debuting as a director.
That's right, people. The man who will bring you Studio Ghibli movies. His first directing debut was freaking Lupin the Third.
Sorry. But tell me more. Crazy. And so we start off.
Well, hold on. I have to give some fun facts here.
Okay, please do.
So we have a fun fact is that there was a dubbed version made in 1992 and then a redubbed version made in 2000. So the 1992 version, the voice of Lupin the Third is Bob Bergen. And Bob Bergen is famously known as the voice of Porky Pig and Tweety Bird in Tiny Toon Adventures.
Very cool.
Not only that, this is also cool, the 2000s voice actor, David Hayter, is famous for being Solid Snake.
Cool.
Do you not know Solid Snake? Do you not know the greatest voice ever, Solid Snake?
Yeah, it's from Metal Gear.
Yeah,
decent games. But anyway,
that voice, that guy does Lupin.
Look, you can watch it on Netflix. I don't know which dub version I watched. It's just whatever was there. Probably the old one because some of the voice acting was a little bit funny. I found this movie that was supposed to be like a serious adventure movie to be hilarious.
No, okay. So here's the thing. It's not supposed to be a serious adventure movie. It's a Lupin movie. It's a comedy by nature.
Okay.
Have you not seen the Lupin series?
Look, if this was made in 1979, when was Lupin made?
Yeah. Around that time. Guess what? It's still going. There's still Lupin stuff. He is a very popular character. And he's fantastic.
I can see why.
There's a new CGI.
Archetype.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know Lupin, think of him as like James Bond, but a thief and terrible with women.
The womanizer.
Yes. But he's terrible at it. He almost never gets the girl.
It's like Vash.
Yeah. But slightly more charismatic than Vash.
My
He's a little
first
better
note
at flirting.
for this movie is Steely Boy's got mad hops. So we see Lupin and his buddy robbing a bank.
Oh, yeah. No. Casino.
Casino. You're absolutely
A
right.
casino in Monte Carlo.
And they just
Monaco.
jump over these big fences, just like spread leg, just woo, just clearing them, no problem.
With
It's fine.
and they have a little yellow beetle that they drive that is just filled with cash.
And they somehow sabotaged every other car so they could get away cleanly.
They sabotaged all the police cars. Yes, that is Lupin's famous thing. Is he's an incredible thief.
Yes, he is good at what he does. And so then they're going down the road. They're tiny little, like, it's almost like a beetle type car.
It's a VW bug. It's a little VW bug, engine in the back and everything.
Yeah, it's tiny, and they have it just absolutely loaded with cash. And Lupin's like, "Oh no, all of this is counterfeit, but it's a really good counterfeit, but it's still not good enough for me."
It's goat bills, is what they're called. Goat bills, counterfeit money that's really high quality counterfeit. And so, since they can't spend it because it's counterfeit money, because Lupin has,
he said it was so, at least a dub. He said it was so good that even the government didn't catch on to it.
Yes, even in the sub, he says that it's that's how good these counterfeits are.
Like,
and so,
why is it not good enough for him?
Because it's still counterfeit.
Oh well. Look,
he has standards. He's not going to spend counterfeit money.
I mean, I would.
You can get tracked with counterfeit money if they find out how they were counterfeited.
But then you could just be like, "Oh, I want it at the casino."
Yeah, but that's not Lupin's style. Lupin's style is he wants the real deal.
But anyway, so then he's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna find where this counterfeit money's from." And then he just
they throw all the money away. All the money just pouring out of the car. It's down the highway. It's great. Beautiful.
I mean, that probably caused a couple car accidents.
I love Lupin. I love it.
Today in the news, some thieves threw money all over the road. Hundreds died.
That's what that tells you. You can't take Lupin, the movie, as a serious movie, because the first thing they do is throw out billions of dollars in fake bills from a beetle.
And those people aren't going to know they're not fake, so just fuck the public, I guess. Fuck all those guys that picked up that money.
Make their day. It's not Lupin style.
Then they're going to get tracked and in trouble for the counterfeit money.
No, they won't get in trouble because they found it in the road. Thank you.
Can you prove that? That'd be an excuse. Hey, you, stop. This is counterfeit.
Oh, they can prove it. They can prove it because they know Lupin stole it.
I just found it. No, that wouldn't fly with any detective anywhere. But anyway, so then they go to this small country of Cagliostro. And they have like these really bad disguises that somehow work, like the inflatable fat suit and like
it's wonderful. It's just meant to be fun. At the very least, it accepts that it's funny.
Yeah, I accept that, but still, they're just awful. But it works.
It works. It just has
this is the smallest nation in the world. Total
3,000 population.
Yeah, 3,500. And he figured out that the counterfeits are coming through here through some sort of situation that he explained very quickly. And it was just
he tracked it down before.
Yeah, I guess. And they're just driving, doing their thing, and there's a car chase that comes by them, and they're like, let's follow them. That looks like a good time.
Yeah,
and because there's a woman,
car chasing.
And there's a pretty woman.
There's a pretty girl, and that's Lupin's weakness.
And the most generic-looking bad guys are chasing her.
Big
girly guys in black suits with these black little all of them look
and the hats. Yes, and the hats, the wonderful hats.
Rectangle sunglasses, the floofy black mustache.
So Lupin puts the car into super speed mode by pulling a lever and the engine pops out.
Mind you, he also defies gravity and drives.
Yeah, they drive up a wall. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
What is this car made of?
It's made of anime. God, I needed this movie.
Anyway, they shake the dudes.
So anime.
They shake the dudes.
They shake the dudes after getting like grenades chucked at them and everything. And they go to.
He jumps over and tries to save her. Go off a cliff anyway. He saved her life from hitting like.
Saves her life because he's got his little wire grappling hook that's attached to his belt, and I love it because he's got a little wench system in his belt. And he's just like,
And they're
It's
hanging on the
great.
side of the cliff, and she's like trying to push him away because she wakes up, and he's like, "Hey, look around, lady. We're in a situation right now," and they're dangling off the edge of the cliff. They fall anyway because the log they were attached to like let go,
The tree,
and
yeah. It was a
he's
tree.
unconscious, and she like treats him for a moment, but apparently the bad guys also have a boat, and they're coming. She's
Yeah.
like, and she leaves, but she leaves her ring with him, which is like I think it's called a Capricorn, like the goatfish.
Yeah. It's
Is that what it
goatfish.
is? Goatfish?
It's a goatfish.
And it's like it's the royal palace's emblem and da 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 da. And then so they go. She gets captured by the bad guys. They go to this castle. It's all in ruins. They find out by talking to an elderly caretaker that once their prince died, like what, 50 years ago.
Not their prince. Their it's like their duke.
In the dub, it was their prince.
I think what is his rank? Because it's like a fiefdom.
In
It's not really a
the
kingdom.
dub,
It's
it
more of
was
a
their.
fiefdom.
He said our prince. So either way. And then there was like a big fire, and they just left it that way. But it's
Yeah,
still
he's a
like
duke.
where the ruling family lives, and that's where the Count Cagliostro lives. And
Grand Duke.
yeah, it wasn't like that in the dub.
Yeah,
They just said prince.
Grand Duke. Because the apparently the kingdom is a grand duchy.
Lupin's told to leave, but he stays.
Yeah.
As one does.
It's Lupin. What do you think? Lupin's gonna leave? No.
And Lupin seems to know the place, know the lady, and his friend. What is his friend's name? I keep forgetting his friend's name.
His friend's name is Daisuke Jigen.
Daisuke, yes. And he's like, hey, dude, what's going on? You seem to know what's going on. He's been here before 10 years ago.
Don't pull that broody loner thing on me. I love it.
Yeah. And 10 years ago, he was here when he was a young thief, wet behind the ears.
Yeah, wet behind the ear thief.
Then the boat comes up and the girl's on it. And then they see this like gyrocopter flying ship thing come in. That I was like, that's not going to be important.
Is an auto gyro.
Auto gyro.
I don't know why it's called an auto gyro, but that's what it's called.
I don't know.
It's got instead of a propeller, it's got like a helicopter propeller, but the helicopter propeller has like rockets on the end of the wings.
What
is awesome.
That I don't know.
But I do want to say though, there is one comment I'd like to make is that they drew all the cars instead of doing CGI cars like they do now. They drew all the cars.
1979, of course they drew.
I like the drawn cars. They look good. They fit the rest of the world because they look like the rest of the world.
Well, it was 1979. It's not exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so they see the Count in his little flying contraption. It's like a gigantic drone. And the Count talks to
it's like a personal helicopter. I don't know why you say gigantic. It's a personal helicopter.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like a one-man helicopter.
I guess.
That's what it is.
The Count is talking to his manservant. We get a little bad guy section here about the girl.
He's talking to Riff Raff.
Is that the manservant's name?
No, it's not his name. I just call him Riff Raff because he looks like Riff Raff.
Riff?
Do you not know Rocky Horror?
Oh, it's been years since I've seen Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror, the butler's name is Riff Raff.
Okay, you're right.
The guy's name is Jodot or Jadot, Jodot. That's his name.
Jadot. That sounds French. But either way, so he talks to him and he's
waiting for Jadot
about the marriage thing, and
then so
they also mentioned Lupin and his friend as the two guys that helped her during the car chase.
Basic summary is that the little Duke dude is planning on forcing the princess to marry him so that he can get her ring. I don't understand why he needs to go through that process and he can't just steal the ring.
Especially when you find out later in the movie that they're from two branches of the same family, so they're probably cousins.
Well, probably not, because that was like they branched off 400 years ago.
Still really.
Look, man, you go back far enough, we're all related.
That's true. But anyway, so he talks to him, does a little villain thing, and he gets really creepy about it. I think he's invested in her physically as well. I think he wants to have her. He wants. I'm
gonna skip a little bit to talk about the funny thing. I don't know if it was in the dub, but it was in the sub, which was Lupin insults him at one point, calling him a creepy pedophilic count.
No.
Oh, it was in the sub. It was in the sub.
No, but
He just goes, "You creepy pedophilic count."
we see our monkey ninjas for the first time because Lupin and his boy are
Yeah, well,
and they're just the funniest looking.
can we talk about Lupin's little
The making
little
set up there.
well, it was to make a flashbang. That's what he was making. He was making, but it has like an air pump, and he has to like breathe air into it and pump to
I
keep
just
the fire
heard
going.
the Breaking Bad theme, like when I first saw that. I'm like, what you making, Lupin?
No, he's just like, yeah, he's just got this little kit, and it's just like, I mean, he's got his own little like
Chemistry set thing.
Bunsen burner chemistry set powered by his own breath, and he's just pumping it.
Yeah,
And
and then pretty much there's like this chase scene across the rooftops as the monkey
yeah, he
ninjas.
flashbangs them. They leave.
They get away.
They were trying to beat the guys with a mace and an axe that were in the room. There was a decorative mace and axe, and they were trying to fight him with it. And Jigen's trying
I
to use
will
his
too.
gun,
I
which
will too.
he has a magnum pistol. For y'all who don't know,
Cannon.
he fires a magnum at point blank range, and it does nothing.
Nope. Does
They
absolutely.
got
These dudes got to be. I mean, like you see later, like they get their thing ripped off, and there are people underneath it. And I think the manservant is one of those people as well. But still, it's just weird because they're like all hunchy, and their arms are always out to the side like this, like the little gremlin monkey ninja people.
I love them. Yeah, well, like I said, the reason I'm wearing this is because if you guys remember Power Rangers, the putties and stuff, they all like were generic, samey looking fighters, and some of them would be like hunched over and stuff like that. So yeah, they're like the putties. They just charge like they're all like this, and they move like this.
Pretty
It's
much.
great, but they have like pointy metal spike gauntlets because their fingers are like super spiky and sharp.
And then we have our other hero character, Goemon, this random samurai,
Um,
which I'm sure is in the
he's
show.
Yes, he's not random. He does jobs with Lupin and Jigen.
So, and then, oh, we also have our sneaky servant later that turns out to be another thief,
Fujiko.
Fujiko.
Yeah,
And she's
usually
spying on
she's
the
a brunette.
and stuff like that about the counterfeit money. She sees
Yeah,
the
she's
counterfeit money, and
because she wants the money.
yeah, that's what she's there for. But so they spy on the castle, and then we get our inspector from Interpol that shows up,
Yes, oh,
and
I
he's
love
there
him.
because Lupin's there, and
Zenigata.
Zenigata is after Lupin.
Zenigata from Interpol.
Yes, and then Lupin and their friend
For
and
those of
his
you
friend,
who've seen Lupin, you guys know what's up. For those of you who haven't seen Lupin, you don't know what's up.
they
You don't
sneak in
know
the castle
Zenigata.
to the water
Yeah.
because
Oh, I love that. That
that
was a
was
great.
they get separated, and because like one water kid, Lupin tries to
Lupin
swim
goes
up.
down the waterfall. Yeah, he's trying to swim up the waterfall. He's like, he almost made it.
He
He
did,
almost made it.
and he just kept going even though he was going down, and his eyes like
Also, come
he
on,
knew
you gotta appreciate the anime styling where where Jigon is still wearing his hat, but it's over the wetsuit.
underwater and it doesn't flow away like a current that
No,
Lupin can't swim against.
no, that's great. I love
And
it.
that's
I
not
love it so
exactly how
much.
waterfalls work, but okay. But okay. It's
Look, it's
old anime.
it's
It's okay.
it's anime. That's what I like about it. Is it embraces the fun of anime where it doesn't have to be realistic. It's anime.
Yes, I guess. But anyway,
Did you laugh? It's all
I
that matters.
smiled.
Yeah,
Found it humorous.
I clapped.
Anyway, so then Lupin is like comes out at like this lion head fountain thing, and the
Yes.
inspector's like right there, and he almost comes out.
And
And
he does that like he does that sort of like you see it with like sea creatures, like they're kind of coming up, and you move your hand or you look at them, they just like sink back into the thing.
yeah, that's what Lupin did. And then we see the inspector and men leave because they might be reassigned. That like happens like 3 times during the movie.
Well, yeah, because it turns out Mr. Duke Man has a lot of pull in Interpol because, I mean, let's be honest, he's probably bribing a lot of nations with the counterfeit money.
And so yeah, and then there's like the shortly after that, there's this little chase scene with first Lupin's disguised, and then he causes a ruckus, and then the inspector goes after Lupin Pitfall, and then Lupin. My note is Lupin pulls tricks.
Well, yeah, there's like a weird statue that if it sees you, it causes a trap to fall down, and like Lupin disguised himself as Zenigata and got them to leave, and then he goes in since they had deactivated the trap, and he reactivates it.
And they come back.
Duke Man ain't too happy with Riffraff.
No,
I
but
did like the
funny.
picture. I did like the picture. It takes a picture. I don't know why. I just enjoy the fact that it takes a picture of you when you fall.
Thing too. Yeah. Like you see exactly. Splash Mountain, but it's probably to identify the intruder.
But
so then anyway, Lupin meets up with Fujiko, and they have a little chat, and then Lupin's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go save the princess," and then climbs a tower, and he has
gonna steal the princess.
He has this little rocket thing that he's like gonna use. It doesn't work. There's a funny scene where he's like sprinting down the roof trying not to fall.
Yeah, he's trying to set up the rocket that like he holds the wire so that he can go across, but like the rocket slips and then he starts like trying to grab it, but the wire just keeps unspooling.
Exactly.
I like it. It was fun.
It's fun. That was funny. I was like,
and then he ends up. This is a common thing with Lupin, which is to accidentally stumble onto success.
Yeah, look, he's just a character with his luck maxed out.
Yeah, he has the high luck stat.
And then he has mad hops again. That boy's got spring-loaded legs. He can jump.
You see the distance he went. That's a really big jump. I love this movie.
And then he eventually makes it to the tower. And he goes like in this little skylight in the top. He drops down. And then he and the princess talk. And now she's all timid when before she was just like not as timid, but I don't know.
Well, they also kind of like drugged her.
Yeah, that's fair. She is kind of.
They kind of do that a lot in this movie.
And the way Lupin talks to her, it's like he only wants her, and he pledges to help her with no reward. He'll be her knight in shining armor. And
but he wants to steal her away so she's no longer locked up. She can be in the sunlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Lupin's goal is the thing he wants to steal is the princess. Because Lupin, as he explains, he's a gentleman thief. He doesn't kill. Mm-hmm. You good? No, you good? Don't you? But yeah, he doesn't kill. He just wants to steal her. And he says like all you have to do is believe in this humble thief, and he can fly and things like that. And he pulls a cool little magic trick where he pops out a flower and then has a little like string of flags.
Yeah, that was cute, and he was impressing her with that.
Look, Lupin's adorable. Let's just be honest. He's adorable.
I mean, if I was not married and he was real, I'd fuck him.
Lupin's adorable. He's got that charm. He's got that charm.
He does. He's very charming.
Even Fujiko says like when she described her relationship with Lupin, she's like, "Oh, we're enemies, and sometimes we're allies, and sometimes we're even lovers."
Yeah, it was not said that exact same way in the dub, but yeah, you get the idea. But anyway, so Monkey Ninjas come back again, and that was the part that made me laugh. I literally had to rewind it and send a video to Chase, and the Monkey Ninjas just shuffling in. It was just like someone grabbed their little things and moved them all across just straight.
I love it.
And the sound effects. The sound effects.
I love the Monkey Ninjas. They're more like Gorilla Ninjas because of the way they move. They're Gorilla Ninjas.
There's not much moving in that scene. They were just like this, and they didn't even move.
Yeah, Lupin gets caught, and then he gets sent down into the catacombs where no one has ever escaped.
Lupin does talk really big, and then Pitfall again. How many Pitfall traps are in this castle?
I don't know. There's a lot of pitfalls, man. But I like it because he gave her ring back, but it turns out that it was a listening device. And Lupin reveals that he heard all of the Duke's plans, and he's like, "Oh, if you want that ring, you're gonna have to come down here."
Okay, if you put the two rings together, it has like a prophecy on it, and it's like the light and the dark come back together, and then
we'll reunited, the treasure will be revealed.
The family fortune, and that's what the Duke's big plans are. Is that by marrying her, because he couldn't just take the two rings, read the inscription, and go open it.
I don't know, man. Later on in the movie, they didn't need to be married for that to happen. So,
honestly, I think the dude was just trying to get laid. Like, He was too
I
much
mean,
of a
yeah.
dick to
Well,
go impress anybody else. So
I
he was
think
just like, I'll force her to marry me
yeah.
because she
Well, I
got
think the other plan is that she's the daughter of the true ruler,
it.
and he's just the acting ruler. But if he marries her, he becomes the ruler.
Because she's like 16.
It's never really explained how old she
And
is.
the dub says that she's 16 at the end.
It doesn't really ever say how old she is.
I'm pretty sure I took notes on it. But anyway, so he gives his whole bad guy, like old movie bad guy speech. He puts all his plans out, blah blah blah, about a prophecy. And by the way, her name is Clarice in the dub that I watched. Hello,
Yeah, no,
Clarice.
her name is Lady Clarice. Yeah.
And then that's when Lupin's little ring does its thing, and a little chicken head pops out, like mocking him. Then it blows up.
I love Lupin.
Maybe you should marry Lupin then. If you love him so much, get married to him.
No, I just want to be his best friend and go on adventures.
Fair enough. And you have mad hops, though.
I got a bad back, so no. No, I really don't.
I'm sure he'll figure out something for you.
I
But
can
anyway,
be the distraction.
Lupin's like hanging out at the bottom. He's like holding on to a spike or something, and he's down there. But they flush him anyway. They flush him with just a bunch of water. He gets flushed. He's fine, but angry. And then the count's like, "Oh, he's dead." And the princess, that makes her sad. And Lupin's now down like in the crypts is the best definition for what I have. There's just corpses everywhere. Corpses of all the people that the count and the whole family has taken out over the years. And the inspector's down there
tons. There's tons of bodies down there.
And so he goes after Lupin, and Lupin's like, "Yeah, we have to find a way out first." So he convinces the inspector to work with him to get out of the crypts.
I love that the inspector won't shake his hand though, because he says, "I will not dirty myself."
Yeah, he's pretty rude like that.
Well, I mean, he is an inspector for Interpol. You can't be an inspector for Interpol and be like, "Yeah, I'll shake hands with this international thief."
Why not?
Well, because he's an international thief.
No one's gonna know.
He'll know. He'll know. And that's all that matters.
They could do lots of things down there in those crypts, and no one's gonna know.
No one would know. The only one that would know is the dead. And dead men tell no tales.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be shaking hands with strange men in the catacombs.
Shaking hands. Yeah.
Anyway, you can't be shaking hands with strange. Look, guys, don't shake hands with strange men in catacombs.
That's what gets you pregnant.
that's what gets you killed. You might find a shiv in you.
Or something else. Moving on. So they chat, and then the aquatic monkey ninjas appear, and they trick him.
Yes, now there's aquatic monkey ninjas. I love this. The aquatic monkey ninjas.
They trick him with bones, and then Lupin one gets away. Lupin jumps in the water to watch where he swims to, so he know how to get out.
Yeah, so, and then they pretty much steal their outfits and trick Butler dude, Riffraff, and the other guy to let them up and out of the gate, toss them in the water. They get out of the gate.
Yeah.
Close the gate behind. Yeah.
And then they find the where they make the counterfeit money. Hundreds of presses, just big, massive
printing money from all over the world. They got rupees and rubles and yen and won and dollar bills, y'all, and loonie.
And they chat how the Cagliostro people are like controlling the world's economy with this and all that.
Yeah, basically they're messing up the economies.
Yeah, and so the inspector wants to work with Lupin still, so they can stop him for now.
And they decide to make a distraction.
Yeah, and counterfeiting is not illegal there, apparently.
Well, because he runs the kingdom, he gets to make the laws.
Yeah, but wouldn't that destroy a country's economy if counterfeiting wasn't illegal, though?
It's not destroying his economy. You can't counterfeit Cagliostro bills. See how it works? Can only counterfeit other countries' bills.
What about exchange rates?
Well, also, if you think about it, it's not exactly like he's making it public. It's in a hidden sub-basement in a dungeon.
But if counterfeiting's not illegal there, then Villager A could be running a counterfeit operation in their house.
In the sub, they never said counterfeiting's not illegal. They said that
they did the dub. But
Well,
anyway,
the dubs aren't always right.
fair enough. But anyway, so they find
They burn it.
anyway.
They
Inspector
burn the money.
the inspector points out that I'm still gonna get you, no matter what. And so
Yes, that's the
the
relationship.
they burn the money. And why this is
Burn
they're
it
burning
all.
the money? The sneaky servant Fujiko reveals herself to the princess, and she's like, "Yeah, look, sorry for deceiving you, but I'm
I'm a
out.
spy.
I'm a spy. I'm a thief." And then Lupin and the inspector burn all the money,
I
and then
like
they
I like that when they're burning it, there's that one statue where it's just coming out of the eyes and the mouth of the statue.
why is the statue hollow? The smoke.
Why is the statue connected to a ventilation shaft? I've got questions about all the secret entrances. Is the statue also a secret, like, if you get on top of the statue, it just like drops down and you fall through and it's just a pit trap? Everything's pit traps.
No, maybe yes. Let's just go
Like,
with yes.
the one thing you gotta appreciate is it revealed where all the pit traps were.
So Lupin and the that's true, and the inspector go to the little gyrocopter thing. They get it, and they fly off. And
They steal the gyrocopter. Love it.
Fujiko is also helping, and they go get the princess.
So
And
yeah, Lupin hops off to leave the gyrocopter to the inspector, gets Fujiko to throw up a rope so that they can bring the two of them up, and
yep,
they are met on the rooftops by the Duke, the kick-ass Duke,
and
with
he gets shot.
with a freaking military grade assault rifle, which looked like it came from a Jeep. You know those Jeep guns?
The mounted Jeep turret,
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and he got shot to hell.
And the chopper was this little chopper thing was destroyed.
Well,
And
it was on fire.
the lackey that
It landed.
the manservant has really bad aim.
Yeah, he does. Well, I mean, he doesn't look strong, and those things have to have a hell of a kick.
Probably. But the inspector with his zooming gyrocopter, like there's like this scene, like, oh no, you can't kill him. If you have to kill him, you'll have to kill me too. And she's like,
So yeah, so she's like, yo, it's the typical scene. You give yourself up, and we won't kill them. But he's a bad guy. Why would you ever trust him?
precisely.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna trust this guy that kidnapped me, drugged me, and kept me in a tower. He's gonna keep his word.
But yeah, so anyway, the inspector zooms in on the burning gyrocopter, saves him, but not the princess. He saves Lupin, but he doesn't get the princess, and he gets Fujiko.
They
Fujiko
leave.
grabs Lupin.
They crash the gyrocopter.
And the Count takes the ring, though, and Fujiko and
Poor Jigen doesn't even get to use his anti-tank rifle.
Fujiko,
By the way, everyone,
Samurai,
Jigen gets an anti-tank rifle because his Magnum didn't work.
Anyway, they get Lupin back.
Logic.
The inspector's like goes to his like council, his meeting, his people, and he has all this proof, and they're just like, nah.
Basically, they're being blackmailed by the guy anyways, so
He's too powerful, so they stonewall him.
It's too strong.
Think
about what the world would say.
Yeah, look, I don't know. But anyway, so
that's why the
chairman orders the case closed.
Yep,
so,
case closed. No more.
Then we go back to the little hotel, which they attacked once before. What's going to stop them from doing it again? But that might be the only place in town.
I think they went to a different place. They went to the old man's place.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Because the old man from before was taking care of him.
Oh, how sweet. The little gardener guy. Lupin's all beat up, but okay. He's been out for 3 days, and he wakes up in there with the old palace gardener and his dog. What was it, Carl?
Doggy. Carl the dog.
Carl! And
that kills people, Carl.
Yeah. And the dog knows Lupin. Lupin knows the dog.
The dog loves Lupin.
That's why the old man wanted to help, is because the dog likes Lupin.
And he likes nobody.
Yeah.
The dog doesn't like anybody, but he liked Lupin. So
we get a little bit of Lupin story time. That 10 years ago, he was just young thief, just starting stealing, and he went after the castle fortune. And
he's like 18 to 20. Yeah, he almost died.
He almost died, and the princess found him wounded, and she like nursed him back to health. Like
she's like
every day, brought him food and water.
She was like 8 to 10. Yeah. She looks like she's 8 to 10 because she's not super small.
She was I don't know. She was pretty small. And her and her
Yeah.
dog went and visited him under the bush every day, and she fed and watered him. And then when he was good, he left.
Yeah.
But so, and then Fujiko tells
You
Lupin,
gotta feed your lupons.
feed your Lupons, folks. Feed your
Feed
Lupons.
and water your lupons.
Take your meds and feed your Lupons. Anyway, so Fujiko tells Lupin and the inspector that the wedding is tomorrow.
Yes.
And then then okay, you find out that this bishop, this bigoted bishop, is coming from another country to come.
I believe he's coming from like the Vatican.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You gotta admit though, if you're gonna get married, a Vatican bishop coming to officiate your wedding's pretty boss.
That is pretty cool.
Like, just someone from the Vatican. No. Yeah.
But anyway, so they get all held up in traffic as the priest is coming, and the old man comes up with his baby goat, and he's like, "Please bless this goat," and there's a goat blessing, and it's fine. And then for the bishop.
Can I just say I appreciate that the bishop is gonna get married in his villain outfit.
You mean
did you notice? Yeah, did you know? Or yeah, the count's getting married in his villain outfit. Did you notice he's got like the metal helmet that has the little eye hole?
Creepers. Okay, like.
Yes. They're like they look like the KKK. They look like the KKK. I'm sorry.
Like a black-robed KKK, and it definitely gave me some weird cultish vibes.
Oh my god, that is
have like this
super cult-like.
And they're all doing their little sword procession movements.
Yeah, it really looked like a cult.
Yeah, look, I have WTF black robe creepers in my notes.
Like just
creepy procession with the wedding, and now Clarice, her eyes are just vacant. She's very heavily drugged. She's just kind of like
super drugged.
She's been roofied. She's just there, like whatever.
Not roofied. She's just she's not unconscious. She's still there. She's just not all there. She's awake, but not there.
But anyway, so they have silent.
Fill her up with Tresito.
Notice this priest was like, if you remain silent, you consent. What kind of bullshit is that?
Silence.
You consent to this wedding.
Well, in the sub, he says that like a drugged girl can't consent or something.
No, he just straight up says, if you're silent, you consent to this wedding. Sorry, my dog.
Yeah. Well, that's where the dub makes a weird change that the sub didn't make. That's also when Lupin busts out of the ground with Jigon and their buddy, little samurai.
Look like evil spirits.
And Lupin's all like bandaged, and he's just like, "Ooh, I've come to punish you on behalf of all of the dead in the catacombs."
Very funny, and everyone starts freaking out.
And then they stab him.
Yeah, Lupin stabbed, and it's a fake Lupin.
It's a robot.
Or some robot.
The head's got all this electronics in it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And then it explodes into counterfeit money. And mind you, there's a news cruise there because
which turns out to be Fujiko.
Because of course it's Fujiko.
I like that she's doing the news as all the fighting goes on, and she's just like taking off her news outfit, and she just has her military like camo outfit underneath it. She's just the whole time she's just casually talking and taking off the outer outfit.
The cameraman's completely okay with this, by the way. He's probably very okay with it.
You gotta admit though, it takes some skill to like undress while still doing the news.
You're right.
You ever tried to talk and take your pants off? It's very difficult.
Yes. Who doesn't talk
exactly
off? It's a skill I acquired.
Exactly. It's usually
I continue seducing my partner.
My prey.
As I take my pants off.
What are you the Duke?
Take my pants off.
Are you the Duke? You gotta your prey.
I cut the corners and I'm wearing them rip-off pants right now. I would show you.
That's what she should have done. She should have just worn rip-off clothes.
There you go. I mean, it was the 70s, so.
Yeah, that was big then. But yeah, so basically, Lupin. This was the scene where Lupin calls him the creepy pedophilic Duke.
I didn't see that, but whatever.
It's
There's
unfortunate because it was a really good insult.
yeah, just the bishop is shot with there's rockets. He was disguised as a bishop the whole time. There's fighting and fireworks, and Lupin escapes with the princess, and the inspector's fighting guards. Mind you, the news is capturing all this counterfeit money, so that way now it cannot be covered
Yeah.
up.
I love that they go down into the catacombs and and he's just like, look at all of this counterfeit money that everywhere. Well, there's must be
Wow, I
dozens of printing
just found
presses.
this.
It's all
Wow.
denominations.
Yeah,
And the Interpol's just or all the UN's just like, he's a terrible actor.
that's awful. And then so then we have our samurai and the friend, and they're covering Lupin's escape. And she's like, the princess is like, I love you guys. And they're like, they both blush, and it's kind of.
Look, it's nice to be told that someone loves you. It's just, you're like, feels good. Feels good.
Does it? I
Wouldn't
wouldn't
it?
know. Nobody tells
Yeah,
me.
see? Exactly.
I
And
am
that's why it would feel good.
happy. I'm just kidding.
Alright? It'd be
I'm
nice.
I love you every day by my children. Hmm.
Yeah,
So
but they have, someone who means it.
they go to the tower, and Lupin puts the rings together, and he finds out the
Yes.
message. And it's in the clock tower, and he does all this,
Can I just state that the next scene that happens is freaking awesome, which is a
the clock
fight through a
tower.
clock tower. Yeah, I love it. Using gears and everything and going up. And it ends in one of the most amazing anime deaths ever. Like 10 out of 10 on this death scene.
Well, there's two people that get crushed by clock parts during this whole scene. There's
Yeah, I
one,
know.
yeah, and you don't get to see it because one Lupin's like, shield your eyes, and you hear the dude crunching and screaming, and the other one, it's so far away, the count gets crushed. We don't have to go
Let's
into detail.
no, I want to go into the details of the count's death though, because it was awesome. So the clock like tower thing is like closing, like the hour hand and the minute hand are going backwards like that, and he gets caught between the two of them. So his death is he's crushed by clock tower hands, which
So
is a creative death.
pretty much, the count like leaves Lupin and the princess for dead in a way, and he goes up to put the ring in the goatfish's eyes to activate the door to the treasure, and
Which is
that's
just
when
weird, yeah.
the hands. Why would the hands be that to the trap to kill whoever puts the?
I don't think it was a trap. I think it was like a gear thing. Like the hands have to be in a set
Oh, he
position
should
for
have
the
put them
thing to
in there
work.
and then moved.
Well, he's not exactly smart. I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
marry her and he still did the ring thing, and it's like he could have done that
I said count sets
at
with
any time.
activates thing. He's crushed brutally between clock hands. That's my notes.
It was amazing. I loved it. It was
Yeah,
great.
the count also
More
believes
deaths
that
like that,
he pretty
please.
much goes on that instead of just marrying her, he's done with the princess. Now he wants to kill her. So
Yeah.
so then
Typical.
Lupin, let's see, the aqueduct breaks, clock tower starts to go down, water floods the castle,
Crumbles. The lake. Well, yeah, it crumbles and it drains the lake.
and Lupin and the
And
princess find the treasure.
it's an ancient Roman city hidden under the water.
Yep, and it's very cool looking, and the princess wants to
I
share the treasure with the world because now she
I
inherited.
I like it because she's like, "Aren't you gonna steal the treasure?" And Lupin's just like, "Yeah, I think it's a bit too big for my pockets."
Yeah, sorry, my nose was running. It was.
Like, you gotta love Lupin. That's pretty funny. But they
Interpol
end up,
shows up, and
yeah.
Lupin has to go.
Lupin and company escape, and
But here, the princess also takes a moment to confess her love and wants to go with him,
yeah.
wants to be a thief, and he's like, haha, no, I love you
No,
as a brother.
you should. He's like, you shouldn't turn into a bad person like me.
And he kisses her forehead.
She wants to kiss him. He kisses her forehead because Lupin ain't no bad dude like that. Lupin's like, little sister vibe. You're like a little sister.
That
We
was
ain't going
not
there.
the vibe I got at the beginning, but that's
No, but you gotta respect Lupin for like realizing who she was later on and being like, no,
sorry. Thought I saw
not
something.
going there. Lupin
But
has standards.
old man and the dog come to be with the princess as Lupin goes with his friends in their little beetle.
Yes.
And then the inspector shows up, and the princess defends Lupin.
Well,
And
yeah, and the inspector's like, it's just a shame I couldn't stop him from stealing. And she's like, but he didn't take anything. And he's like, oh, he did steal something. He stole your heart.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Lupin.
And she's like, I'll wait for him forever. He's not coming back for
No,
you.
he's not. He
No.
wants Fujiko.
And Fujiko drives up beside him on her motorcycle, and she got what she came for, the counterfeit blanks.
And he's just like, hey, we should team up, friend, buddy, pal.
And then the camera pounds out as they run from
Pounds
the
out.
inspector and pans. Maybe it pounds.
Out.
Whatever.
You're just thinking about what Lupin wanted to do later to Fujiko.
I mean, yes. I'm sure they meet up in a hotel room somewhere. But the
No, she's
inspector
gonna take those
chases
plates.
Lupin into the city. As I say, into the sun, but I crossed that out because it was into the city. And credits roll. It was a movie. It wasn't bad.
It was great if you're a fan of the Lupin series.
See, I never seen the Lupin series, and I have watched this movie before years ago. I just didn't remember it.
I'm gonna share with you an AMV then.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll share it with Chase too. But yeah, no. So what do we want to rate this? Do we want to rate this as monkey ninjas or crush counts?
Monkey ninjas.
It's got to be monkey ninjas, right?
Got to be monkey ninjas. Those were the best parts of the whole entire.
I do love the monkey ninjas. I appreciate the monkey ninjas.
Okay, so what is your rating of the monkey ninjas? How many monkey ninjas out of 10 do you give this movie?
Well, okay. So my opinion is that, as you guys know, for every fault that I find, I knock a point off. The thing is that I loved the characters, I loved the design, I liked the music. You know, they had a little bit of boppy music in there, and they had a little bit of nice like classical music. I appreciated the fact that everything progressed the story. Like the plot always moved forward. Things just moved. You know, we didn't slow down. But it was a good pace. The story just kept going, and I don't have a fault with it. I don't have anything that I would change in the movie. I liked everything about it. So I'll give it 10 monkey ninjas. For me,
I really
10
think
monkey ninjas.
The movie, because I have not seen the original content material. This is the only Lupin content I have ever seen. You know, I didn't even watch this movie when I was younger. I watched it when I was nearly an adult. So look, it's not a bad movie. I agree with you. Nothing really to take off. But it wasn't, to me, it wasn't an astounding movie, and part of that has to really do with its age. I give it that. I will give it a.
Weirdly enough, though, it aged well.
It
Yeah,
ages well, but
it's weird for a 42-year-old movie. The fact that it still holds up is impressive.
I mean, I was entertained watching the whole thing. It wasn't like some other movies where I struggled to stay awake watching it. I couldn't sit here and go, "Oh, this was dumb, this was stupid." I mean, the only thing that like I could actually, and this is like picking at fine hairs, complain about is like, "Oh, they jumped too far." But that was part of the mechanics of the movie. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a cartoony world. Yeah,
so
it's like.
I call it, like, as I was talking to Chaser, I call it a mid movie, but honestly, it's a little bit better than mid. I'm going to give it a 7 Monkey Ninjas out of 10. And it's not because I don't like it, but it wasn't amazing. It was good. Watch it. If you haven't seen it, why are you watching this? We just spoiled the entire movie for you.
Yeah. My point system will always be I start at 10 and I knock points off for all of the stuff that's bad. And that's how I do video games too. I'll start at 10 and knock points off. So if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. It just holds up. And it did. It held up. 42 years, the animation isn't terrible.
I don't think you've rated anything 10 out of 10.
Yes, I have rated a few things 10 out of 10. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I have a better memory. And that's sad because my memory's crap. Yeah. My memory's crap, but your memory's trash, and somehow yours is worse.
Look, you can use crap to fertilize plants.
Yeah, true, but trash is basically only good for trash pandas, so.
I am not a trash panda. So
no,
I am
you're the
just
trash.
I am just useless.
I mean, trash pandas.
Nobody loves me.
Trash pandas do. Possums love trash.
Oh well.
So basically, you got raccoons and possums.
I've accepted this.
I mean,
anyway, everybody,
adorable.
Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you.
Watch the
being here. And hopefully, you've already seen it before watching this. And tell us what you guys thought. Yeah. Hop in the Discord. Just go around.
Let us know.
And
Tell us
let us know what you think. Or DM us on Discord. We will be happy to talk.
Have you ever
to-
seen a Lupin series? It ran on Adult Swim. If you guys didn't know that, it ran on Adult Swim and Tsunami. So
I vaguely remember it being on there, but I never watched it. But anyway, everybody, thanks
hopefully
for
this
coming.
inspires you guys to check out Lupin.
We have a whole new season of movies to discuss with you guys, and hopefully,
Next week's
guys.
Animatrix.
I'm
That's a
excited.
movie.
I love the Matrix movies. I love them.
Yeah, but this is
and
the Animatrix.
I know what it
very
is.
different.
I've seen it before. But anyway, we're gonna go. You guys have a good night, good day, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.